What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start by being transparent. And yesterday, it was another good day for me. I went 4-2. My 5% was the Cavaliers -2.5. My 4% was the first half under in the Knicks game. Both of those were winners. So I definitely had a good day yesterday. Vino, good to be back here with you. How you doing here today?
We're good, Skee. Yesterday was 5-2 overall. We had another 4-2 college hoop day, 1-0 in the pros. Had that the NBA game was the Toronto Sacramento over. I think we talked about it on this show. May have even been the best bet for the show. I'm not sure. But yeah, it came through pretty easily. And the college just, sounds repetitive every day, but it's been good for the better part of 7 weeks now. So we're happy with that. We'll see what we can make today on this Thursday card.
Yeah, it's a lot to like. A lot to like. I have fired on 11 bets so far, I think, today. And I'm already looking to make it one more. One more I'm already looking at. And I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger. Honestly, I want to bet it right now if the show wasn't about to start. That's what's taking me so long because I really wanted to bet it. Um oop, getting some more news. You know that injury report goes crazy. All right, let's get to it, Rob Vino. See how we can make some money today. If I do stop the show, just know I'm opening up my wallet and I'm making a bet. I'll let you know what it is, but it's one bet I'm not missing out on if something happens. First game up is Nuggets and Wizards. This one opened up -5.5 for the Nuggets. Still 5.5. Total looks like 229. Hasn't I mean it's 228.5. Injury report. And again, let me just refresh because we see things are still happening right now. So for Denver, no, Jokic, Cam Johnson, Braun, or Bates. Valanciunas, though, for the first time in a while, is actually questionable, so he could potentially play. Murray's probable, Hardaway's probable, Gordon's probable. For the Wizards, Marvin Bagley and Avery Johnson. And oh, you know what? Bilal has been rolled out. That's good for my prop. I'm gonna just go right into my prop there. Um, I actually have two props in this game, Rob Vino, and then I'll pass it to you. I like Keyshawn George over 9.5 rebounds and assists. I was nervous about the status of Middleton. Middleton has been ruled in, but without Bilal, I mean that's even better. I could pull up his. It just really it boils down to all the games this year. You know, I bet on him a lot. All the games this year, um, when there was no CJ, when there was no Middleton, when there was no Bilal, it's like he just has to do so much. And when it's one person missing, like the defense is take away more of his scoring, and he has to do more of the other things like distribute and and he always rebounds. So the matchup is good for him. And on the other side, you have Pickett getting a lot of minutes. He's playing like a Josh Hart role. Um, all his games, you know, without Braun, Cam, and Jokic, we know he's going to get the boosted minutes. So 7.5 rebounds and assists. He's been clearing that line, I think, in the last 4 or 5. I like that one as well here, Rob Vino. Anything for you on Nuggets and Wizards?
Yeah, I didn't play Ski, but I'll say this. I was worried about Denver and how this rotation will work out. It'll be interesting if Valanciunas does play because it will help. But their head coach, David Adelman, talked about the minutes that he's playing his players right now due to injury, of course. But he basically was saying that they're winning some games despite the fact that I'm playing Jamal a lot of minutes. I'm playing Tim Hardaway too many minutes. I played Aaron Gordon over what we thought his restriction should be just to win a game. I'm worried about doing that. Um, I don't know. If you're trying to win a game, you should probably try to win the game, but he's worried he's playing these guys too much. It would help if Valanciunas was back. I don't know what these minutes are going to look like tonight for Denver. If the head coach is serious about pulling back the reins on Murray for 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, keep him on the bench. If he's the same with Hardaway, etc. It could be a problematic with a team that doesn't play a lot of good defense to begin with. Number here, 5.5, 228.5. I don't know. I would like to play over here, Skee. I almost got there with Lakers Denver over the other night, and I'm glad I didn't because they only got the 222, 115, 107 Laker win. I feel like that 107 is just not something customary for Denver. I feel like the offense bounces back a little bit no matter how the minutes are dispersed. So I may get to 228.5, a total play with over. Bub Carrington subs into the starting lineup here. He's kind of a volume guy. When he makes them, he's great. When he doesn't make shots, he's not so great. But I still think this game has a really good shot of getting over 228.5.
Yeah. What you said about Murray's minutes maybe getting cut down a little bit, that would actually be lovely for my prop. So I wouldn't mind at all, Rob Veno, if he wants to get that started tonight.
Start a group chat with the Nuggets coach.
All right, next one we have Hornets and Magic. Opened up 6.5 for the Magic. Looks like 6 or 5.5. I mean, this line has been all over the place all day. Total come down, or I'm sorry, yeah, come down from 230 as low as 223.5 as far as the injury report. And here's what we got to look. So Suggs, Franz Wagner, and Castleton all ruled out for the Hornets. KJ Simpson, Plumlee, Trey Mann, they're all ruled out. LaMelo is questionable. Brandon Miller is probable. We did see the Hornets last night. They made a pretty good effort to come back. No thanks to LaMelo shooting, I'll say that. He was awful shooting the basketball. We'll see if he's out there tonight. But regardless, the Hornets, a lot of young guys. I expect them to still have a lot of energy on this back to back. And I didn't like them yesterday. I bet against them because it was a big flat spot for them that first game back home, after being out on the road and, for a while. And they were very flat in the beginning of the game, but they kind of caught on, and started to play better. And I think that they can roll that into this game versus a Magic team who is coming back from Berlin, London, and they have had 3 days off, but what do we call it? I mean, rest, rest, and also the jet lag. We'll see how it fares for the Magic, but I like the Hornets tonight. I took them plus 6.5. Rob Veno, what do you think, Magic and Hornets?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if LaMelo plays or not here, Skee. They brought him off the bench last night, I think, because they knew they had back-to-backs. But it could be that the thumb is a problem. Like you say, the shooting was horrendous. 0 for 10 from 3. I think 1 for 15 overall, only scored 2 points. So maybe it's just better not to have him out there. We do know that they play with more pace. Our friend, the kid from Duke, Con Kneppel, said that it's a little different when LaMelo's coming off the bench. It's a bit of an adjustment. We're trying to manage his minutes in back-to-back, but we've got to be sharper. Couple of things here. Orlando made note of wanting to start games faster. Like they feel like they don't start quick enough. And I looked at the first quarter line earlier. Orlando was a 1.5-point favorite. I would like to go there with Orlando, but then within the last 30 minutes, Franz got scratched. That means Tristan Da Silva's in. Not sure that I want their starting lineup now for the first 12 minutes, so that kind of negates that play. This is going to end up being a no play for me just because, the one difference that Orlando has than Memphis had is Orlando got the extra day of rest coming back from Germany, where Memphis didn't have it. Memphis still played good last night, though. 128, 126, I think. Not really interested anymore, Skee, since Wagner got ruled out, so I'll just pass that game.
Fair. Very, very fair. And on that note, we're going over to the Rockets and 76ers. I don't have to waste anybody's time. I have a bet on every other game. I do not have a bet on this game. Rob Veno, is there anything you want to mention in Rockets and Sixers?
I wanted to try and play the Sixers here, but I don't know that 2.5 is enough. Embiid will play. Paul George probably will play. That's probably why it went from 3 down to 2.5. But a couple of things here where Houston, and you got to keep an eye on these rotation changes, because I saw a quote from Kevin Durant who said that Reed Shepherd, and not that this is a rotation change here, but Jabari Smith Jr. have played a lot more aggressive lately, and they're a different team when those guys are playing. Reed Shepherd, for what it's worth, has been playing good for a few games now, which is helpful to their depth. Şengün back. It's kind of what scared me off, because I thought in the beginning I would like Philadelphia in this spot. No longer a situational play for me. 221 does seem a bit low for the total in this game now that Houston's discovered some extra scoring. Smith on a pretty good roll after being terrible from January 1st to like the 13th or 14th. Before the last 2 games, Jabari Smith hadn't shot the ball well at all. So I'm going to pass this one as well. I do think over might have a little bit of value to it.
All right, here's where I want to talk about it. And we opened up -5 here. We're looking at 5.5. Total open 232. And we are looking at 234.5. Injury report. Definitely have to look. Gary Payton Jr. questionable. Seth Curry out for the Mavericks. Gafford doubtful. Cisse questionable. Davis and Kyrie out. So Veno, I want to ask you. I mean, my inclination is the Warriors' defense gets a lot worse. The Warriors play a lot faster when Jimmy Butler's not on the court. The Mavericks don't have a whole lot of rim protection. The Mavericks have been playing faster lately. Has it been the Mavericks wanting to play faster? Has it been the Jazz speeding them up? I mean, regardless, they're playing a team that wants to play fast and could speed them up tonight. Both teams have been playing up tempo. And I don't really trust either defense. I'm thinking I agree with the market pushing this one up, and I still think there's some room to go at 234.5. What do you think here, Rob Veno?
Well, we could watch the game together on this one, Skee, because I already played it over 234.5. Just a couple of things to reinforce what you were saying. Jason Kidd, pace is setting the tone for us. Make or miss, we're playing fast. Christie came out, shot really well. He was good from beyond the arc. But also, I think the first group got us off to a good start, right? That's the Knicks game he's talking about there. What you take away from that quote is that they want to play fast at this point in time. Golden State, I said either yesterday or the day before, whenever they played, I had made a lot of money on Golden State overs, whether it be team total or full game over recently. I didn't play the other night because I didn't know what they were going to look like without Jimmy Butler, but I think might have been saturated in the chat, suggested a prop play on Kuminga, and Kuminga had been buried on the bench. Nobody knew, but he came off the bench and scored 20. I think so. Now that he's back in the fold, Steve Kerr admitted he's going to be back in the fold. I didn't even realize, Skee, that Kuminga was not even practicing with the team. Not only did he miss 16 straight games, but he wasn't even at practice for any of those. I guess they didn't want to get him hurt because they wanted to trade him, but now he's part of this group that's going to play. That makes them faster for sure. That makes them higher scoring for sure. I put 2 and 2 together here. It wasn't that hard to go to logic school on this one in 234.5. The one thing that scared me halfway, but not enough to stop me from making the bet, was that Dallas shot it so well against the Knicks the other day. So well. You probably can't shoot it that well again, but you probably don't have to get over 234.5 in this game. So for me, it was over. Cooper Flag came back the other day, looked pretty good. He had 18. We've talked enough, and you just mentioned it again about the Dallas lack of rim protection. All those guys. Gafford for a half a second, they were saying maybe, but now it looks like maybe not. He's back down to doubtful. So for me, it's over 234.5.
Well, you know what? I make fun of you all the time, Rob, or you and, I make fun of you all the time for being long-winded. But I appreciate it that time because it allowed me to open up my wallet and go ahead and
yeah, you see, I'm helpful, Skee.
Open up
not only wallet. Thorough, but helpful.
That's right. That's right. get to the window on that over 234.5, and they're
Yeah.
saturated in the chat right there. Shout out to Kristen. She says, everyone, please hit the like button and retweet the show. Thank you for that. It definitely helps out the show. If you guys could do that for us. Next game, Rob, looks like this is Bulls and Wolves. Almost messed that up. Bulls and Wolves. Opened up -10, down to 8.5 right now. Total open 236.5. And that's up as high as 239.5. Let's look at the injuries. There's probably some injuries. Let me just refresh here. Yes. As I refreshed, I saw a name pop up. Julius Randle, questionable. Terrence Shannon Jr. out. Giddy now upgraded to probable. Williams, questionable. Collins out. So, Vino, I'm going to pass this one to you first, actually. This is the Wolves coming off of 3 losses, I believe, in a row. And the Bulls coming off 2 straight wins. How do you see this one shaking out?
It's hard to think anything except over in this one, Skee. I really just don't trust Minnesota at all anymore. Thank you, Saturated. Um, it's hard to trust Minnesota. Giddy coming back is probably the reason why the total is pushed up, right? Because they see Giddy's in the game. Now I think he missed like 11 in a row or something like that. But now with Randall out, maybe this comes back down a little bit and we can get a better price. Just where Chicago's concerned at this point in time, and Kobe White being back has been a huge help to that offense. It could even be an instance where I just try to isolate and play Chicago team total against this Minnesota defense, which just isn't the same. We're seeing some action on that game now, Skee, as I talk here. That's down to 8.5 Minnesota. Total 239.5 down to 238.5 in some spots. I would probably look Bulls team total over. Minnesota is first back home off of a road trip, as you mentioned. Not really a good scenario for teams. I could talk myself into it, honestly. The Bulls team total, the best you can find at a spot that's readily available across the country would be 114.5. So, if that's the number, I would be inclined to play that.
T-Wolves defense has not been great, and they have been playing pretty up tempo. They need a point guard, man, for real. I wish they could get a point guard over there. But man, Vino, I don't think the Wolves don't deserve to be laying. Like, they haven't been good as a favorite all year. I get it. They could do what New York did, but I don't trust them. They've been untrustworthy in this row all year. They didn't have one of those good old players meetings, I guess, right, Rob? You know, that's the secret.
If you didn't say it, I was gonna.
That's the secret. And
Because Jason Hart came out and railed on that team.
and then it is the first game back home from a road trip as well for them. So not the greatest of spots for the Wolves. I think the Bulls are more the right side. And I did forget, so I will mention it here. I did forget in the previous game. My bad, you guys. I did take Buddy Hield over 8.5 points, and I took Kuminga over 4.5 rebounds. So take that for what it's worth. There's 2 more props in the previous game. Spurs and Jazz. This one opened up. I need some water. This one opened up -13, still around there. Total still around the same place. Keontae George, questionable. Sensabaugh, questionable. Harkless, Markkinen, Niang out. Cornette, questionable. Sohan, questionable. Vassell out for the Spurs team. Bino, I'm going to go to you first on Spurs and Jazz.
Yeah, I can't like the Jazz here, Skee, even though and they did it again the other night. They came back from 12 down against the T-Wolves. I think it was against the T-Wolves the other night, 127-122. Utah wins. But it's just too much missing now. I mean, Bryce Sensabaugh, last couple of weeks, has erupted for some big scoring nights. We know George is providing them with, if not the most offense of anybody, the second most offense of anybody. And when Markkinen's been out, He probably has been the best offensive player on the floor. So if you don't have him, that's another problem for the offense here. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, I think Luke Cornett is closer to playing than not playing, which would help them here. I don't think Utah can score enough to keep up with San Antonio here if they're interested in playing. They are off a loss, so I think they will be interested. I could also look in this game pretty seriously at a San Antonio team total because Utah, it's just a bad defense to begin with. Now you're missing some guys. That number is 125. Kind of in a range where I don't like to get involved, asking for 126, but I can't see any other way to play this game other than San Antonio. And I'll backtrack for half a second and just say that because you mentioned props, and we talked about Anthony Edwards the other day, and he's just been on a 2-game explosion, 55 and 38. Said the other day he might be upset that he wasn't in the starting 5 for the All-Star game, but certainly if you're looking at a prop in that game, Chicago, Minnesota, even coming home first time off 3 road games, maybe Ant is a way to go.
So looking at Ant's points prop, that's what you're saying there, right? I do have a prop here. I'm just trying to pull it up. My bad, you guys. So I don't know why I just did this the other day and I can't get it here today. I feel like we got to get some of those shiny graphics on here.
Oh, yeah. I need to see one.
There we go. You can see this. Oh, no. I got to put it up. Put it up here. Production crew, self-production crew.
There it is.
All right, you can see that, right?
Yep.
So let me get this. I'm sorry, let me get over here. So pretty much Champagne, I'm looking at him over 12.5 points. He has hit it 8 out of 12 games. You can see right there without Devin Vassell. That's what I started with. And we can look at, you see the matchup here. Defense versus spot up, defense versus above the break 3, both worst and second worst. You can look at the kind of points he scores. 66% of his points are on catch and shoot. They're the worst defending that. Where do most of his points come from? 51% come from the above the break 3. They're the worst defending that. So just a good matchup there. And if you look at, I could go further in depth and I guess I should. Let's go defense versus. Let's look at the bottom half. Look at 14 through 30, something like that. 14 through 30 for all of these. 14 through 30. And also, defense versus position is bottom 10. Let's see if we can knock that last one off. If you're playing against the bottom 10 or bottom half, bottom half of the league, defenses versus his position. He said it every single time without Vassell. One of them was versus Jazz, and that was very recent when they just played. He got just to 13 versus the Bucks, versus the Grizzlies, versus the Knicks. So I'll go with him again tonight. Usually I bet his rebounds. Tonight I'll bet his points over 12.5. That's Champagne, and that is Props Madness. If you'd like to try it out, you can use code Skee25, all caps, Skee25. You'll get 25% off your first month. Any thoughts on that? Anything else you want to add on this game?
Yeah, I'm all here. I'm here for all of that Skee chart breakdown stuff. Skee, that's the good stuff. Really quick, back to the Anthony Edwards thing with Julius Randle out now. Those points have to go somewhere. Don't know exactly if that drives people to other player props, but could just be a complete Ant takeover tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Did I mess up here? Yeah, I messed up with the banner. Or maybe I already just put the next banner up. No. My bad, you guys. My tabs are all, everything is messed up. Here we go, Veno. Heat and Blazers. Opened up -1.5, and it looks like it's flipped to Blazers -1.5. So it'll open 239. It looks like it's down to 237.5. That's interesting. Down as low as 236.5, actually. Injury report. We absolutely have to check that out. Khalil Ware is questionable. Heroes out for the Blazers. Wesley, Tybalt, Murray, Scoot are all out. Robert Williams, Drew Holiday, Jeremy Grant, Sissoko are all questionable. Um, Man, it's interesting for this total to be coming down. I'll just say that I disagree. I absolutely disagree with the total coming down here. Um, you start off with what I keep saying about the Heat. Like they're back to their beginning of the season identity where they're playing extremely up tempo. They're sharing the basketball really good. It's a recipe for putting up points. And this Blazers team is a team that wants to play up tempo as well. So I just put those things together and I get the 240. Like in those games where the Heat were playing to start the season, 240 like should have been a baseline in all of their games. That's where I feel like I'm at right now for the Heat. And I'm just gonna pull up their last couple. Am I wrong? Nope. 240, 247, 247, 42. I think their games are back to, they should be priced at 240, Rob Veno. What do you think?
Yeah, cashed one of them the other night. They made 21 threes. Um, to reinforce what you're saying really quick here, Bam Adebayo said it. Bam Adebayo, after they made the 21 threes, he said, being able to do that gives us an additional element to our play. We already play with pace. We crash the paint. That just adds another level of success for us. They want to shoot threes. They want to go quick. They want to get offensive boards, defensive boards, and get out on the break. I'll say this about Portland, Skee. That injury report could be just a shade cautious because Thiago Splitter, the head coach for Portland here, what I was reading this morning, says that the time off, because they've had 3 straight days off, Portland has,
Mm-hmm.
the time off is going to help the veterans Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant in this game. They've been dealing with injuries. So you could see Drew and Jeremy Grant, according to the head coach. I'm somewhat reading between the lines there. He's not definitely saying they're going to play, but he's saying the 3 days off really helped those two guys. So you may see them, which would help. And last thing, you talked about Miami beginning of the season. They played Portland beginning of the season, early November. Game got 267, 136, 131. I don't know exactly what changes here. Should be another over.
All right, we're in agreement on this game. I'm glad to hear that. Um, and I'm sitting here thinking, damn, did I miss some more props? I know I had a lot of props, a lot of games today, but no, we still got another game left here. Lakers and Clippers did open up -2 for the Clippers, is down to -1. Total open 223.5. It looks like 222.5, 223, depending where you shop. For the Lakers, Reeves and Thiero are out. For the Clippers, Kawhi is questionable. Bogdanovich, Derrick Jones Jr. are both out. Um, One, I know Luca does hate the Clippers. He usually does light them up, at least to start the games. In the first quarter, he'll have like 15, 20. Um, but what I took in this game, I mean, I don't know if I talked to you about it, Ravino. I'm not sure, but I figured LeBron out. Did we talk about that?
No, you mentioned it yesterday, but that must have been with the other show.
Yeah, so LeBron, this is how he continues to get his numbers, Ravino, because we watch the games and we see him, loafing around, not really caring. Yeah, we see the games that are like that. So what he does is the games that are a good matchup for him to fill up the stat sheet, the top, half of the league, and when he sees those good matchups, he goes all out. He takes advantage of it. He lights the scoreboard up, the stat sheet. When it's a tougher matchup, don't really care so much. He's not doing so much. That's exactly how he's playing these games, Rob. So tonight, um, I'm going LeBron under 12 and a half. I bet over last game, 12 and a half. I'm going under 12 and a half this game, rebounds and assists. And more than that, I mean, I did also bet last game. I bet Rui over 7.5 points. They raised that from the previous game of 6.5. Now they've raised it again to 8.5 minus 122. But I just went ahead and did the PRA. He was kind of doing a little bit of everything anyway in his last game, and he's getting back to like I'm expecting him to start for the first time this game since being back. Like they're ramping up his minutes. He had what was it? He had 17 minutes, then he had 18 minutes, then he had, et cetera, et cetera. 19, 21. And then last game, he had 28, I believe, and he was in the closing lineup. So it seems to me like, he's getting back to where he should be, his normal role on his team. So I like him over his 12.5 PRA at it was my like minus 112. Last but not least, I like Laravia. I'll go with Laravia. I'm not sure what these numbers are. They might be gone, but I'm just trying to help you guys. I sent these plays out a lot earlier. Um, Laravia under 8.5 points for the same reason I'm taking Rui. Rui's, I'm expecting him to be back starting. I'm expecting Laravia to go sit his ass on the bench, Rob Veno, and he's not going to be doing a whole lot of nothing. Under 8.5 for him. So kind of correlation to how I'm my game flow things. Put it in your same game parlay. See if we can, get your good payout for the people who do that. Veno, Lakers and Clippers. What do you think?
First thing I want to do, Skee, and you know me pretty well at this point from doing shows together. I do not pat myself on the back, but sometimes you get it right. You go on the show, you say something that turns out to be right. How about this from Tyronn Lue after they lost the other day? The game in which I said, I think they're going to go back to walkers with tennis balls. He says that back-to-back, it really caught up with us. We were tired. We were slow. We're already slow, but we were even slower. And sure enough, they got whacked. It almost seems like he chucked in the towel on that road trip. They knew they were going to come home with a winning record. This one, we're not doing so well. We're tired. Let's go ahead and let Chicago beat our brains in. And they did. To your point about Luka hating the Clippers, which goes way back, right? It goes back maybe to the COVID playoffs. It was around then. But anyway, it's interesting that his head coach, JJ Redick, had this to say about Luka. He said he's got an engine that can't be turned on halfway. Once his engine is on, it's like he's in kill mode. And he'll probably be in kill mode against the Clippers tonight, I'm sure. But I think the Clippers kind of looked ahead to this game. Again, it's coming home cross country off of a road trip, not necessarily the best setting. My idea here is that they probably get some points in this game. I think Luka goes off. You might see Kawhi back tonight as well. From what I read, it seemed like they purposely rested him on the road trip. He's still listed as questionable tonight, but I think he's going to go. Going to wait until we get the full injury report here. But if I see Kawhi, it could be a lean towards the Clippers. It could also be a lean towards a little bit of over. But I think Clippers, more than anything, is where I would head with this one. I think they threw in the towel to get to this game. And real quick, while I'm on throwing in the towel, Steve Kerr admitted the last game they played, he threw in the towel. Basically said, I wasn't going to chase with my starters. Let the backups go. So maybe Golden State's primed for a good one tonight as well.
All right. That's the NBA card for today, Mr. Veno. So we will toss this good one up there like we usually do. 7-day all access for $69. Comes out to under $10 per day. And you're pretty much getting a 7-day all access pass. I mean, 7-day all access pass for the price of 3. That's what I'm trying to say there. Dang, Rob Veno, messing that up there today. But I'll ask you if there's anything else you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it.
Real quick on promotions, Skee. It's been a couple of days since I said this, so I will tell the chat, if in fact you do bet college basketball Monday through Friday, WagerTalk TV, full court press college basketball show, myself and Adam Trigger. We go through 60 minutes of basically, we do one game as a feature game, and then the chat dictates the rest of the way. We just do what you guys want to hear. So once again, it's Monday through Saturday now, 10 to 11, Monday through Friday, 11 till noon with Kelly Stewart on Saturday mornings, right before opening tip-off. I've got a couple to choose from here, Skee, but I'll go ahead and just give the one that I bet first, which was Golden State Dallas over the total, 234.5. I think we line up in that game. You had the same thoughts I did, basically. So give me that as the best bet for today. Golden State Dallas up and over 234.5.
All right, good stuff from Mr. Rob Veno. For myself, we did nice with that 5%, 5% yesterday on the Cavs minus 2.5. Got there, they won by 7, and I do have another 5% tonight So if you enjoyed that one, if you want to be involved again, or if you didn't get involved last time, you missed out, maybe you want to check it out tonight, now's a good time to get involved. And I would say just take advantage of the promo we put up, or that's the best way to do it. And if you're a volume player, it's a good day to get involved with me because I have double digit bets. If you like just the strongest bet, it's a good day because I have my strongest bet. And if you like player props, I have plenty of those for you too today. So today's a really good day. Best bet for the show. I always like to give something that is the same number you guys can get. Um, Let me just glance the board because a lot of things have moved. A lot of things have definitely moved. Um, well, how about one thing, I'll say it like this. Didn't we? I'm pretty sure it was this show. If it wasn't this show, then hey, we'll talk about it this time. Buddy Hield, wasn't that a best bet
Yep,
on this show?
that was
Over
this
eight and a
show.
half points.
That was this show.
We'll go right back to that.
Hmm.
It was juiced. It was juiced towards the under earlier, and it started to move a little bit more towards even. I don't know why it was even starting like that, but like we mentioned, he's gone over every single game without Jimmy Butler. It's not the greatest of matchups as far as you know. Dallas is listed as one of those teams that defends the perimeter really good, but Buddy is more than just a shooter. He'll score in transition. He'll get to the basket, and he's going to have plenty of opportunity here. 8.5 is not a tough ask. And even with good defense, he's a sniper. He can get a couple of those threes off versus them. So we'll go with Buddy Hield once again to cash a best bet for us on the show. Veno, appreciate you taking the time to cap these games with me. Always want to let you know how much that helps my process. People in the chat, we appreciate you as well. A lot of great cappers and great people, and we're all just trying to help each other win. So, you guys help make the show what it is. I always want to let you know you're appreciated too. One more day, tomorrow possibly we'll talk a little bit of football. We only have two more games, or I'm sorry, two games this weekend. But we can talk about them as well as some NBA. So, best of luck to everybody out there in the chat. We'll catch you all tomorrow.